surprise
have no
guest. Yes.
idea.
Yep. Absolutely.
Keith really has a very, very long actual childhood history
Yep.
with our guest this morning. Would
I
you like to
actually,
introduce her?
well, I actually, it's Carol Moore.
Carol Moore.
Okay,
Right.
and the crazy thing is, Carol owns a bread and breakfast, two of them,
Mhm.
in Edgewater Park where I grew up. So, and she has animals at her
It's a
place,
farm.
farm. And when I was a child in Edgewater Park, I would always walk past her house. We actually played baseball on the very back end of the property across the street from the one property. So I mean, I'm just so happy because I love my childhood. I thought it was great growing up in Edgewater Park. So welcome, Carol.
Thank you.
Well, I also want to mention Carol is the owner of the Whitebriar Inn Bed and Breakfast and also the Green Cafe, which is an organic cafe slash restaurant. But she is also known as the highest ranking and oldest Girl Scout in Burlington County, New Jersey. And that's a pretty high honor. So I think we're going to focus on her Girl Scout days.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, everything that I am today is because I was a Girl Scout. And first you have to know the story of Juliet Lowe and the story of Girl Scouting. Well, Girl Scouting came to be because Boy Scouting founder, Lord Baden-Powell, had this wonderful group of boys to keep busy, and all these girls wanted to do the boy stuff.
Sure.
And Lord Baden-Powell went to his friend Juliet Lowe, who was a married lady who didn't have any children, but she was very wealthy, and she said, Juliet, please take these girls off my hands. I really don't want to have girls and boys together. So Juliet said, okay, and since she never had any children, she said, I'll take the girls. So the very, very first thing that Juliet Lowe did with the girls was to teach them how to bake cookies. The original Girl Scout.
Yeah.
So when you go to buy a Girl Scout box of cookies nowadays, be it known that it's a tradition of over 100 years.
Right.
So the first cooking batch.
Right.
And when the girls made the cookies, they then sold them. Because the second Girl Scout badge was the sewing badge. They used the money from selling the cookies to buy the material, and they made their uniforms.
Right.
And so the history of Girl Scouting goes back over 100 years. But more importantly, the focus I would put it on is I'm one of 5 children, and my mom had 3 children younger than me. So pretty much I was on my own. I either did Young People's Fellowship at church or I did Girl Scouts, and Mother never had to worry about me. I was always at a good place.
Right.
Okay? But she didn't have the time to do the little stuff with me, so Girl Scouting did.
Yes.
So I started in Girl Scouts at the age of 6. You're supposed to back then be 7. But my neighbor was a Girl Scout leader, and I was always big for my age, and I was very respectful, and so my neighbor said, Carol, you can join early. So I'm now 60 years a member of Girl Scouts, life member, of course, and I thought that was a big deal until my Girl Scout leader just got her 80th year pin, Edith Bradley.
You have something to aspire to.
So I do indeed. So when I had all these badges, and I have the badges to show you, all the sashes, the cooking badge. What I learned in cooking in Girl Scouting, I've now followed through with my organic cafe, and I do cakes, banana cakes, applesauce cakes, all the traditional cakes that your grandmother used to make, not these fluffy white paper cakes.
From the box.
From the box. I mean, my daughters were in, I think, Ridgeway School, and the home ec teacher sent them home to buy. They had to bring in a box mix. And my daughters looked at me and said, Mommy, what's a box mix? Because we had cooked cakes from scratch forever. Anyway, so by learning the cooking aspect, then from Girl Scouting, and then I went into the canning aspect. I do over 5,000 jars of jams and jellies and relishes, all organic, and sell them in the cafe, because the cafe also has a gift shop.
Yes.
So then we go on into the sewing badge. So not only do I make all my own aprons, this one is commercially bought, but all my aprons, and I try to use recycled material,
It's great.
and I make them reversible. And as I was telling somebody, reversible aprons were a tradition from 200 years ago. You only had one set of clothing. You actually slept in your slip as your nightie as well. and you had an apron, and you wore the apron on one side, and you might be out in the garden, working in the garden or whatever, and there's smudges on your apron, and you see dust coming up the road, and it's the pastor coming to visit. So you quick take off your apron, shake it out, turn it around, and you now have a clean apron on to greet the pastor. So my sewing got involved there. The sewing I learned in Girl Scouting not only repaired my husband and my twin daughters' clothing through their entire life, but I got to the point where when we opened the bed and breakfast, we needed sheets.
Yes.
So I would alter sheets. I would make new pillowcases. I would make the curtains. All this having to do with sewing I learned in Girl Scouts. So then one of the badges in Girl Scouting that I got involved in is the animal care badge. Well, with the animal care, I started a home 35 years ago. I started a home for wayward farm animals. Okay. And Moore's Home for Wayward Farm Animals takes any and all animals, not cats and dogs, who would normally be on a farm.
Like a goat,
Like,
chicken.
oh my goodness. We had a lady that came to us and she said, these people are going to take 4 goats and eat them. And if I buy them, will you put them in your field? And so, yeah. And so we ended up having to go pick up these 4 little kids, and that's what we did. So that is part of the animal care. Now the first aid badge, all right. I'm a CPR in first aid. I've been forever. I now am AFib, DFib, should I say, trained, AED, and that all came from my first Girl Scout badge. Girl Scouting, we also have a canoeing badge.
Yes, I had that one.
My husband, yes, my husband and I kayak at least twice a week. And I'm 68 and he's 70, and we're the 2 healthiest old fat people you ever did see.
Because we do wonderful organic banana cakes you're making.
It is all of this good food, and it's all good organic. It's a patina that took me 68 years to put on.
Right.
So, and the swimming badge. When I was a little girl, one of 5 kids, my dad had one of the younger kids and was walking out into the ocean with the little child on his shoulder or in his arms or something. And here I am, probably 6, 8, and I'm following him, and I'm following him, and I'm following him,
boy, getting
and I'm
deeper.
following him, and the water's now over my nose, and I turn to the shore to look back at my mother, who's now screaming frantically because she has the other 2 little kids, and my father turned around and grabbed me by the hair and pulled me out. Well, I determined at that time that I would learn how to swim, and so my Girl Scout swimming badge helped me with that, and my husband and I are the 2 oldest lifeguards in New Jersey.
Wow.
He's the oldest. He's got me by 2 years. We both became lifeguards at age 16. And because we have our own summer camp, we have to keep our licensing up. So, and so that's the, that's where Girl Scouting comes in with me.
Okay. We're gonna listen to some more stories that you have.
And I think we're gonna look at some Girl Scout
Yes, we're gonna look at
memorabilia.
some Girl Scouts memorabilia right after this commercial break.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
Looking for a cooking oil with a light flavor and reduced absorption so food preserves its natural flavor? One with a high smoke point for stir-frying, sautéing, grilling, and baking? Then choose all-natural Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil, imported from France. Grapes have been a key ingredient of the healthy Mediterranean diet for years. Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is the chef's choice for high-heat cooking, grilling, stir-frying, sautéing, or even deep frying. And Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is great for baking too, because its delicate taste does not overwhelm the flavor of cakes, cookies, and other favorite recipes. A key traditional ingredient of the Mediterranean, grapeseed oil is a rich source of vitamin E antioxidant and naturally gluten-free. Buy imported Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil today and find great recipes at Pompeian.com.
Wait, don't let this happen to you. At Jan Fence, we're family owned and operated for over 50 years, providing a wide choice of fencing. Why wait online at the big box store? Just call Jan Fence. Ask about our Easy Fence to Go products by Active Yards, the first truly do-it-yourself fence product.
At Jan Fence, we always do what we say. Come see us today.
Step into an extraordinary world that will excite your senses. Experience our delectable Mughlai cuisine and the magic of tandoori savoir-faire. Let our international award-winning team delight you with a taste of heaven. Enjoy our mouth-watering flavors and our unique flair for excellence. Savor the elegance of fine dining and catering. Shazam Restaurant. Indulge your taste buds.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with Charlene Chamberlain, my co-host, and our great guest, a blast from the past for me, Carol Moore with the Girl Scouts. Carol, so now we have some memorabilia. What do we have here?
Walk us through some of these
Yes.
Well,
wonderful memories.
the memorabilia is also part of how come I'm a successful businesswoman now. It's because of all the things I learned in Girl Scouting. And one of the Girl Scout brochures was funny because my husband and I we do a lot of cruising, and I've been in like 58 countries and 30 cruises in 5 years, and we needed gas on our way down from New Jersey to Florida, and we pulled into this little town for a gas station, and right across the street was the home of Juliette Lowe.
Oh, just so happened to be there.
Just so happened to be there, fate. And so my husband got gas, and I went on the 2-hour tour
Of course
of the
you did.
Juliette Lowe house. So that's what that's from.
That was the longest pit stop ever,
That
probably.
it was, and he even went in, and he was
Oh,
even
great.
impressed. So if you ever get in Savannah, it is
Savannah's
amazing.
wonderful,
And
yeah.
what the thing about Juliette Lowe is she was a very wealthy woman, never had children, was married, but married to kind of a grumpy guy. So he did his thing, she did her thing, and her thing was this forming of the Girl Scouting.
Right.
And it was funny because the first 2 badges, as I said, one was the cooking, one was the sewing.
Right.
And then Juliette Lowe was a very progressive woman, a women's liber, if you would say.
Right.
And she went to a lot of quacks because they had new ideas as to
Yes,
health. And back then, in 1912, there was traditional medicine, but nothing.
Then there was Edgar Casey.
Absolutely.
Right.
So anyway, she was hard of hearing.
Yes.
So the 3rd Girl Scout badge was signing,
ASL.
because one of Juliette Lowe's quacky friends told her that this doctor said that if you pour molten lead in your ear, it improves your hearing.
Molten
The
lead.
sound bounces off the lead was the theory.
Interesting.
Therefore, she was then totally deaf in
Oh.
one ear. So the signing aspect, hard of hearing in the other. So that's another thing that I learned on the tour. But here's my
Original.
Yep, and it doesn't even fit over my body anymore, but
Yeah.
that's all right. It's all good. And I was a Girl Scout, of course, and you started as brownies.
I was
now,
a brownie, loved brownies.
but you see, they didn't have daisies
No.
back then in the 60s. Daisies is the younger girls, right before,
Little
right
ones.
as they come into kindergarten. Brownies are supposed to be 7, daisies are 5.
Right.
And why are they called daisies? Because Juliette Lowe's nickname was Daisy.
Oh, I didn't know
And so
that.
that's why they're
So
called daisies.
brownies, and because I saw brownies, so brownies and then Girl Scouts.
Yes,
Yes.
and
Okay.
you had brownies, Girl Scouts, and seniors.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Okay, so then now we have
Daisies.
daisies, brownies, juniors, cadets, and seniors.
Okay.
So
I remember because the brownies had the brown skirts on.
Yeah,
I
Yes,
the
think
little
exactly.
brown beanie.
Karen Bell used to have her brownie uniform.
Oh, you remember that, huh?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
when I look at the badges, every single one that I look at, I had a child care badge. And a child care badge helped me today because, number one, I'm a school teacher, retired, but number two, I own my own summer camp. And I get, for 10 weeks of the summer, to play Girl Scouts with boys and girls.
That's
because
great.
everybody likes to have a campfire. Everybody likes to pet animals.
Of course.
Everybody likes to collect the eggs, and that's what
And
we do
speaking
in
of
the
eggs,
camp.
we have one right here in a basket. I don't know if you can see this,
Oh,
but that's from Carol's farm.
Okay, and what it is we waste.
That's a big egg.
Well, it's a goose egg.
Goose
egg.
We recycle absolutely everything. That's another Girl Scout badge. And this is an empty goose egg, of which I make cake out of the goose eggs. And it is hollowed out by a little teeny pair of scissors. You cut a hole in the back, dump out the egg, wash it out, and it'll last forever.
Yes.
So I sell baskets of these at the cafe gift shop because a lot of people have country kitchens.
Yes.
And to have food sitting around that you don't have to eat in 100 years ago, that was a sign of wealth. Okay, so if you have fake fruit sitting on your table, that's left over from 100 years ago when that meant I have so much fruit.
It's just
I
gonna
can just
sit
let
here
it sit here
and rot.
because we're all well fed.
Right.
And so a lot of people with country kitchens like to buy those. The cooking badge is on here. I saw that. Oh, the sailing badge. That was another one. My husband and I'm writing a book someday. You know that everybody has a book they'll write someday. That it's called Wooder Wooder Everywhere We Go.
So I'm gonna drop a drink.
It's about my husband and I and our relationship. And of course, as I said, we started out as lifeguards, but we're now crew members on the New Jersey Tall Ship.
You told me that. Is it the
A.J. Mearwald. And it is, and this is hard for me to imagine, being on the water as much as I am and knowing how hard it is to put a sailboat where you want it to be. There were 500 oyster schooners sailing on the Delaware Bay. How they didn't bump into each other, I have no idea.
And navigation is so much different now than it was then.
Exactly. And the law in 1928, when the Mearwald was built, was that you had to sail under oyster. Now, I'm also an oceanographer, and oysters don't move.
No.
They attach themselves and grow.
Right.
And I think to myself, why did the law say you have to give them a head start?
Right.
You know? But the law did change after that. So the Mearwald comes up to Burlington, New Jersey, and every Wood Street Fair Day, which is in September, and in Earth Day, which is coming up. They'll be here the first week in May. And it's open for sales, school sales. We have plenty of grants from the DEP and EPA for schools to come in and get a free, bring your whole school in, take a sail tour. And we don't collect oysters anymore.
Right.
What we do is we advertise to get all the oysters that we can and teach the kids the environment of what the oyster did. One oyster cleans 1,000 gallons of water every day. One oyster. Now, oysters do not have the nice clam shell that's nice and smooth.
Yeah, they're not pretty.
Or the scallop shell, which has nice little ridges. No, the oyster shell is ugly.
Worker. He's a
Ugly.
worker.
He takes all the inert and the chemicals and the heavy metals out of the water and puts it into his shell where it is not harmful.
That's amazing.
So when we had our oyster blight and we had no more oysters then in waters around New Jersey, we had red tides, which is an algae that grows because the water's not clean.
Right, exactly.
I love oysters though.
I think we're ready for a commercial
We're
break.
gonna take a quick commercial
We're gonna
break.
come back and look at some more of these wonderful items that Carol brought.
People will band together against the forces of corporate greed, and together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at Experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppy's Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppy's because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppy's Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Here, we have an attractive orange and a distinguished apple. The two similar, but opposites. Theory, a wingman is needed, or perhaps a wing lemon. A friend to the orange and an acquaintance to the apple, the lemon brings the two opposites together. See, with a little fresh thinking, the universe can be surprisingly smooth.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Fitzpatrick's. Deli dine for breakfast and lunch. And at night, gourmet dine for dinner with entrees and specialty sandwiches including certified black Angus cuts of beef and wild-caught seafood, plus catering options for specialty events. Since 1989, Fitzpatrick's, your hometown place with upscale tastes.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
There's a lot of challenges in commercial real estate filled with potential issues between either a landlord or a tenant if you're leasing space in a commercial building, or if you're purchasing or you're selling commercial real estate. Not only are contract terms important, but you're dealing with environmental issues. Again, you're dealing with mortgage issues. If it's a commercial property that has tenants in it, the buyer needs to deal with the tenants and their leases. If you're leasing commercial property from a landlord, there's always going to be substantial give and take between what the landlord wants, which is always in the landlord's favor, and what the tenant wants, which is more of a fair relationship between the landlord and the tenant. If you're involved in a commercial leasing matter, or if you're involved in a commercial purchase or sale, give us a call. We have the experience, we have the expertise to help you out. We're happy to talk about your situation and sit down with you and talk about how we can help you navigate through the.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with Charlene Chamberlain, my co-host. And I'll let Char bring our guest back,
and our wonderful guest is Carol Moore, and she is the owner of the Whitebriar B&B and also the Green Cafe, which is all organics. And she brought in this wonderful homemade banana cake with buttercream frosting that somebody's already gotten into. Wonder who that was.
That wasn't me, not yet.
And this is typical of what she would be serving probably at the B&B and at the cafe.
Yes, I do. I do tea parties, little girl tea parties. Up to a little girl's age 90 plus.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And for $8, they get to come in and have a piece of cake and fill their teapot so many times. I have over 50 different teapots, so you get to choose your teapot, whatever looks pretty to you. And I have a set, I can serve up to 20 little girls in demi-tasse cups that are all red rosebud, which is a very dear collection of mine. Another aspect of Girl Scouting, the collection badge, which I have more collections than I probably have good sense. But the banana cake, the people in Africa and where bananas grow in the warm country think that we Americans are really simpletons because we eat bananas when they're yellow. A banana is not ripe until it is black. I would kind of think of it as, would you ever eat a green tomato, slice it on your sandwich?
No.
You wouldn't. And yet here we eat yellow bananas when in fact they have 50% higher sugar content, nutritional content. When the skin turns black, then they are ripe.
Right.
So my campers in the summertime, their parents are forever sending me in black bananas because they know then we'll make banana muffins, banana breads, and the banana cakes. Now, my cakes all have nuts in them, so if you are allergic to nuts, do not come to my cafe.
Okay.
Because everything has nuts. Nuts are seeds. You must understand, all my science and my being a biology teacher, you must understand that in a seed is the nutrition that will grow the entire plant. So by eating a seed, you're eating all the nutrition from that entire plant. And nuts are seeds. So pecans are in all my cakes because my girlfriend in South Carolina has a pecan tree and I know it's organic. So I have an inside source on that. So I also do all my organic and homemade breads. Now, each one of my breads is a different one. And no two ever taste the same because you never have exactly the same ingredients.
Right. Look at
but
that.
this actually
that
is the French country bread. Now, a French country bread is very crispy crust. There's lots of air holes.
And flaky.
The air holes make it very fluffy. And if you can just imagine from all your romantic novels, if you can imagine a gentleman picking up his girlfriend and a bottle of wine and a loaf of French country bread and a chunk of cheese and a blanket and them going out and having a picnic. And that would be considered a full meal.
That's right.
It has the nutrition. A bread, everybody says, oh no, I'll get too fat if I eat too much bread. No. You need to eat whole grain breads.
Yes.
Because the whole grain takes your body longer to digest it. So if you have a piece of whole grain bread for breakfast, you're not even hungry till 12 o'clock. Okay?
Right.
So it takes longer for your body to break down the whole grain. Where if you use regular grain that's all smashed up, it goes right through and turns into fat lickety-split. So you don't want to do that. Also in my summer camp, again, my camping aspect from Girl Scouting, we have a special day of the week. It's a 10-week camp. It's $200 a week, and I only take 8 children.
Wow, that's
and
pretty nice.
And it's all tax deductible on your federal income tax, which I only learned recently, because it's daycare. And the federal government gives you a tax exempt for up to $10,000 per child. So Wednesday is their favorite day. It's called Waffle Wednesday. So they know not to eat a whole big breakfast.
Right.
And during the summer camp, every morning at 9 o'clock we start to cook. Let me tell you, we've made mistakes. You only make a mistake between sugar and salt one time. Because we eat all our mistakes.
Exactly.
And you'll always remember
that.
And so Waffle Wednesday, we start at 9 o'clock and we make all the waffle batter from scratch, none of this out of the box.
Right.
And then they can eat as many waffles as they wish. And what they've done is they've turned it into a Waffle House. They grab all my aprons and their little tablet, and half of them become the waitresses, and they write down, what do you want on your waffle?
Right.
I want Jimmy's.
Jimmy's.
I want powdered sugar. I want syrup. I want butter. And I want whipped cream. Okay. And they can eat as many as they want. Now, of course, as soon as we're finished Waffle Wednesday, then at 11 o'clock, We take all that sugar that we just pumped into them, you know, with the syrup
Yes,
and
of
all
course,
that
and the
good
jimmies.
Absolutely. And we go swim in the pool.
And work it off.
And we do. And so from 11 to 12 and 3 to 4 every single day, we have swimming.
Great.
And because my husband and I are the 2 oldest lifeguards, that's what we do. And the camp is great in that respect. So again, all that cooking I learned from Girl Scouts. We have children who think that waffles come out of a cardboard box. They don't know there is such a thing as a waffle iron.
Right.
So I indoctrinate all my campers, and I tell them, when's your mother's birthday? And they tell me, and I say, okay, you and your dad get together and go buy her a waffle iron, a great present, and then you get the benefits.
Right, exactly.
And the herbs are another thing that I do. A tremendous amount of herbs.
So you have feverfew,
Well,
mother's wart.
exactly. And all of these are grown right here on the property. People walk up to the cafe, which is the old bank. It used to be a bank.
Right.
We call it a flat top, ugly, brown brick building. Because it is.
But it's very pretty on the outside.
Well, I put awnings up.
Beautiful.
And when you walk inside, we have 2 fireplaces and the surround, and we have all antique furniture inside. So if you could get yourself past
Charming.
the ugly brown brick square box of a building, and you walk inside, and then you say, "Oh, wow, you know, I'm 100 years later."
Yeah.
You know, and of course, I serve nothing on plastic.
Good.
I was secretary for the safety director at Tenneco Plastics 35 years ago.
Tenneco.
And that was, another memory for him.
Memory, yep.
And I had to write the safety reports and send them to the federal government. And every year we would have a high rate of heart incidences, of early onset dementia. And we'd write all this down because these guys in the plant are working with this polymer, which is on the carcinogenic list. And so finally, the federal government now, 30 years later, is kind of taking a second look that plastic should not be touched by food. So we use no plastic whatsoever in the cafe. And if I could figure a way to replace plastic bags, I would do it. But there is no replacement at this time. People are talking now about laws to that you can't have plastic pipes bringing water into your house, because all day long while you're at work, the water sits in that plastic and absorbs the toxins. And so, but you know, they'll phase that out. And my suggestion is, you want a tip for the stock market? Buy into the American glass industry, because there are so many houses with polyvinyl chloride piping.
Yes.
They'll find a way to put molten glass.
That's a liner.
On the inside of all these pipes, just like the old-fashioned thermos bottle.
Yes.
Yep.
Remember?
Absolutely.
You had to be careful with it.
Gotta
if
be
you
careful
don't
with
break
it.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But pipes don't move, so there's
Right.
not going to be a problem of them breaking. So so that's, the herbs are really great. And of course, you know, people come in all the time with medicinal problems, and of course, I try to help them, and I say, did you think of going online and just punch in online foods to take away pain?
Right.
Well, guess what? The herb oregano has been used for over 2,000 years as a natural anti-inflammatory. Food to get rid of high cholesterol. You put honey and cinnamon and vinegar together, make a little blend, drops your cholesterol like crazy. Food to get rid of high blood pressure. Beets.
Beets are great.
If you get a little teeny can of beets and you're on your way to the heart doctor, take the can of beets, sit them down, and I like mine pickled, Harvard,
Me
and
too.
such.
Oh, the best.
Salt and pepper and butter is good
Yeah.
too. And you eat 2 or 3 or 4 slices of beets, drops your blood pressure
Yeah.
like this. So you do that 3 times a week, you don't have blood pressure anymore.
Beets are
So-
great to build up your red blood cells. as well.
Absolutely. All of the herbs that I grow are grown right there on the property. When people ride past and they see the ugly brown brick building, they will also see all flower beds, which they think are flowers. They're not. It's all food. It's all food. One of the ones that I grow the most of is marigold. Marigold is listed under the herbs. Marigold is one marigold flower, that little bitty orange flower, sometimes they're bright yellow, has more vitamin C in that one flower than a large orange. Now, who would have thought?
That's amazing.
Who would have thought? So you take that little marigold and you throw it in a little teapot and you pour some.
Steam it up.
Never put boiling water on anything, not your tea. Hot water, not boiling, because boiling it kills the enzymes which are nutrition to you. And pour it in a pot with this one little marigold flower and let it seep for 3 to 4 minutes and then drink it. And when you have a cold, when you feel your sore throat coming on, you feel your glands are starting to get, am I getting an earache? So food is your medicine.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
all this was learned through my Girl Scouting days, through my gardening. And that's another badge that we have on there.
Well, Carol, we're going to have you come back. My God.
A couple of times.
A couple of times, because there's so much stuff that we have to cover with you. This was amazing, amazing. Why don't you tell the audience out there where they could find you?
Alrighty, I'm in Edgewater Park. Just find the Beverly National Cemetery. It's the only cemetery in the state of New Jersey that was actually dedicated by Abraham Lincoln 6 months before he was assassinated. And I'm in their backyard, so if you can't find that. Also, I'm on Cooper Street, which, if you remember, the author of the leather stocking tales, James Fenimore Cooper, is actually what Cooper Street was named after, but they shortened it to Cooper Street. And I'm on the corner of Cooper and Green, okay? And Green Cafe, Green stands for, somebody said, why'd you name it the Green Cafe? I said, well, it's at the corner of Green Street.
Right.
My husband's Irish, he loves everything green. And we're hoping to bring some greenbacks in so we can pay the mortgage.
There we go.
So it is the Organic Green Cafe at Whitebriar Bed and Breakfast. And the summer camp is also Whitebriar Summer Camp.
And you're also on Facebook as well.
Facebook, just look me up as Carol Lokan Moore. L-O-K-A-N is my maiden name. I took that back when my only heir to the name was killed in an auto accident. And you will see 30 or 40 photos of the children interacting with the pigs, the ducks, the geese, the chickens, collecting the eggs,
all the eggs,
making waffles, making jams and jellies, making flavored vinegars, all of which we do during the camp day. Cooking, I teach them cooking as well.
It's wonderful.
Well, we'll be right back after this. Thanks again, Carol.
Yeah, thanks, Carol. We'll be right back.
Some members. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Barry Bailey. I host a show called Under Pressure, coming to you on Radio Vision Network. The show comes on at 10:30. On Wednesdays, we cover a variety of topics and have related to dealing with life's day-to-day pressure.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
Looking for a cooking oil with a light flavor and reduced absorption so food preserves its natural flavor? One with a high smoke point for stir-frying, sautéing, grilling, and baking? Then choose all-natural Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil, imported from France. Grapes have been a key ingredient of the healthy Mediterranean diet for years. Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is the chef's choice for high-heat cooking, grilling, stir-frying, sautéing, or even deep frying. And Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is great for baking too, because its delicate taste does not overwhelm the flavor of cakes, cookies, and other favorite recipes. A key traditional ingredient of the Mediterranean, grapeseed oil is a rich source of vitamin E antioxidant and naturally gluten-free. Buy imported Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil today and find great recipes at Pompeian.com.
Wait, don't let this happen to you. At Jan Fence, we're family owned and operated for over 50 years, providing a wide choice of fencing. Why wait online at the big box store? Just call Jan Fence. Ask about our Easy Fence to Go products by Active Yards, the first truly do-it-yourself fence product.
At Jan Fence, we always do what we say. Come see us today.
Step into an extraordinary world that will excite your senses. Experience our delectable Mughlai cuisine and the magic of tandoori savoir-faire. Let our international award-winning team delight you with a taste of heaven. Enjoy our mouth-watering flavors and our unique flair for excellence. Savor the elegance of fine dining and catering. Shazam Restaurant. Indulge your taste buds.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with